What is up, YouTube? Back again. Des Moines, Iowa. Back to back Midwest cards. First one delivered. Can the second follow it up as well? We shall see. Oh, um, yeah. We're gonna go through it, break it down. From what I remember, because I picked all of these on Sunday, some of these were pretty tough to predict, if I can remember right. If not, we'll figure that out very shortly. Should be a good card though. Got a couple big fights at the top there, but yeah, we'll start off with Fight of the Year contender. Don't know how they're having this start off the card. This should be the main event, obviously. We got Juliana Miller versus Ivana Petrovic, or AKA my ex-wife. So, oh wait, no, that's a different girl. Never mind. Either way, um, yeah. So Juliana Miller's trash. Petrovic is pretty trash. I'm gonna go Petrovic by decision. Part of me did kind of want to pick Juliana Miller just because the sport is horrible, but no, yeah, I'm gonna rock with Petrovic, honestly. So that backfires. I really don't care. I'm not gonna throw any money on that, or maybe a couple dollars for funsies. But yeah, Petrovic decision, fight of the year contender. Um, you know the drill. Moving on to the next fight, we have Dante Mays versus Thomas Peterson. I'm going with Thomas Peterson, second round KO. I think he feels out Dante Mays for the first round. Dante Mays might have some moments. And then second round, Dante Mays is going to gas out. Peterson's just going to kind of just pour on him with combos and get him out of there. Round two, TKO. On to the next one, we have Gaston Bolaños versus Kwang Lee. I'm going with Kwang Lee. I don't know why. If I remember right, both these guys are not that good. Like Bolaños won recently. He beat Romeus. Oh my goodness. Who we saw is not that good. Got destroyed by McGee. Bolaños only 32. Ooh. Yeah, well, I already picked Lee, so we're gonna rock with Lee, but yeah. I thought Bolaños was way older and way more out of his prime, but he has some wins recently. Um, I'm gonna go with Lee, and I'm gonna say decision. Scrappy fight, gets gets out of there. I'm pretty sure Bolaños' durability isn't like too great, or maybe he just does eat like a lot of damage, and I don't know. Either way, it is what it is. Moving on to the next fight, we have Marina Rodriguez versus Jillian Robertson. I think there's levels to this. I think Marina Rodriguez is going to win. By decision, though, I think Robertson will stay in the fight, kind of. Not really. I'm thinking a 30-27 unanimous, but Rodriguez doesn't do too much to, really go for the finish. She's just staying at range, picking her jabs, stuffs a lot of takedowns, and Robertson just kind of looks lost out there. So I'm calling 30-27 all the way around, if not at the bare minimum, Rodriguez decision. On to the next fight, we have Azamet Bekoyev versus Ryan Loder. Bekoyev is coming off that short notice win against, oh, who was it? Was it Zachary Reese? Destroyed him. I was there live. It was crazy. Just dismantled him. So for that, he got onto the watch list, even though I don't think Zachary Reese is that good. Ryan Loder, last time he fought, I believe he destroyed Robert Valentine. That's when everyone thought Valentine was going to be this crazy boogeyman. I think the wrestling will cancel out with both these fighters. I think it'll be striking. In that, I do favor Bakoyev. However, I don't think Bakoyev is getting a finish here. I'm seeing this decision as well. Decent fight though, nothing too crazy, not an absolute war, but both guys are gonna be pretty careful. But I just see Bakoyev just edging him out. I could see a 30-27 with a couple 29-28s in there, something like that. But Bakoyev by decision is what I'm rocking with. On to the next fight, we have Yana Santos versus Misha Tate. I don't get it unless like Misha Tate's asking for this. Like, why is this fight being made? Like, let's get some other prospects from the women's bantamweight, which there aren't any, but like better than these two, honestly. Like, I'm a Misha Tate fan, but she's way past her prime. She's just kind of holding on to a ranking for no reason, so it's just like this fight it doesn't mean anything because the winner goes on and loses to someone above them, and then the loser, the loser will fight a Jocelyn Edwards or Eileen Perez, something like that, probably. But this fight. I might be skipping, and if I'm watching, it's just to see Misha Tate win, and hopefully she retires, something like that. Retire on a win. Go out there, dominate Yana Santos, which I have by decision. No, I don't think there's going to be a finish here. On to the next fight, we have Jeremy Stephens versus Mason Jones. I have Mason Jones by decision. I think it's going to be really scrappy. I think Jeremy Stephens is going to hang in there. I don't see Mason Jones getting him out of there, even though like I said, I do think it's a war, and I do question the durability of Stephens sometimes. But yeah, we'll see how this goes. I think it'll be a fun fight, but I'm going Jones' decision. It just so happened I'm predicting a lot of decisions on this card. I hope I'm proven wrong. I'll lose money if it means that we have some fun fights, but going on to the next fight, where I do think it will be a finish, I have Cameron Smotherman versus Serhi City. I'm going with Smotherman, second round KO. Another scrappy fight. I'm not sold on City yet. Who did he just beat? Beat Armfield. That's actually a pretty impressive win, but a split decision. Lost to Ramon Tavares, split decision. Smotherman came out there, I'm pretty sure it was on short notice, dismantled Jake Hadley. He got on the watch list for that. I know Jake Hadley's not that good, and it was at bantamweight, but I think this Cameron Smotherman guy is only going to come out. He's going to look better. I think he's going to get rid of Serhi City or whatever his name is. So, yeah. Smotherman, second round KO. Let's rock. On to the next fight. Really good fight. Honestly, I feel like casual. I didn't even know this was on the card until Sunday when I was predicting everything. Got Montel Jackson versus Daniel Marcos. I'm going with Montel Jackson, second round KO. I think both fighters are really good, but after that last performance with Marcos and Adrian Yanez, even though Marcos won because Yanez just chose not to go after him when he was down in the fight, it's just like, I don't think Marcos is that good. I think Montel Jackson will connect, and when he does, I think he's going to shut his lights out. So, first round's going to be, just them getting reads, nothing really going to happen, and then second round, I can just see Montel Jackson just taking him out, and I don't know about flash KO, but I think he stuns him pretty bad and then finishes it with some ground and pound. So I'm going to go Montel Jackson, second round TKO there. On to the next fight, we have Santiago Ponzinibbio versus Daniel Rodriguez. I could have sworn these guys fought already a few years ago, like 3-4 years ago, but I guess they never have. Ponzinibbio has not really looked the same. Um, oh wait, he is coming off a win against Carlston Harris, but I don't think Carlston Harris has looked the same since Shavkat. So um, I don't know. I do question durability of Ponzinibbio. Do I think D-Rod is that good? No, not really. Um, Not as high on him as I used to be, for obvious reasons. But man, I can see this being a flash KO. I can see D-Rod just lining up that left straight and just catching Ponzinibbio and taking him out in the first round. So I expect that fight to be really fun, a lot of back and forth. But I'm also expecting it to be an early finish. Quick day in office for Daniel Rodriguez there. Let's go, D-Rod. On to next fight, probably the hardest one for me to predict. I still don't even feel comfortable with what I made as a prediction here, but for Renier de Ritter RDR versus Bo Nickel, Renier de Ritter coming into the UFC was really hyped about him. I was like, oh wow, holding two belts in a decent promotion, even though I heard the heavier divisions at one are horrible. Like, this guy might be something. And then that GM3 fight, I know he ended up winning, but he looked so sloppy, and I don't know if you can just say he had the jitters or whatever for a first time fighting in UFC, but yeah, that was not a great performance. And he goes out there 2 months later and destroys Kevin Holland, who should be in welterweight, but either way, it was a great win, made it look easy. Bo Nickel, up until this point, even with the Brundage win, outside of his last performance, who did he fight last? Paul Craig. Yeah, that was horrible. Um, yeah, Bo Nichols looked great up until the Paul Craig fight, in my opinion. Like the Brundage fight, even though it went to the second round, whatever, it was fine. You're not always gonna have picture perfect fight, and I do think Brundage is, I won't say underrated, but he's serviceable as a middleweight. He's not like the very, very bottom. So I'm picking Bo Nickel by decision, and I feel like this is 110% going to backfire on me because it's MMA, it's not wrestling. De Ritter has way more experience. De Ritter is going to be massive in there. I think De Ritter walks around at like 220, and when he steps in the cage the day of the fight, he's like 205 or 210. Like, he's massive. I just feel like I'm going with the younger fighter. Like, it makes no sense why I'm picking Bo Nickel, honestly. Outside of, like, I guess the hype, but like, is there really even that much more hype after that Paul Craig fight? Like, that was such a bad performance. I don't know. I'm gonna rock with Bo Nickel by decision. Um, yeah, it's 100% gonna backfire on me, but yeah, I really don't have a reason why I'm picking Bo Nickel outside of maybe him being the younger fighter and having more hype behind him, honestly. But it's a horrible reason to pick him. Um, if I get that right, Nickel by decision, then I don't even know if I'd be impressed, honestly. I would just be like, wow, he just kind of got lucky there. But yeah, we'll rock with that. On to the next fight, we have Corey Sandhagen versus Davison Figueiredo. Also a very, very tough fight to predict. You know, Sandhagen just might have one of the unluckiest careers in MMA history, honestly. Um, Actually, not, but like not really at the same time. It's just he's just one of those guys that's always so good enough to be in the top five, but might not ever be good enough to be champion. I do question some things on the Figueiredo side, especially after that loss to Jan, where he took some good amount of damage. He is also older. But for Figueiredo, hits like a freaking truck, man. An absolute truck. Even at bantamweight, which is insane. The first guy to knock down Chito Vera, you know, O'Malley literally put on, like what? How many significant strikes did O'Malley have on Chito? Like 250 probably, maybe 300. And didn't get him down. And O'Malley still has decent power for how much volume he puts out there. But man, Figueiredo, I can see him cracking Sandhagen a few times, and the Sandhagen's landing more volume throughout the fight, and it's going to be a very, very close fight, but I think Figueiredo's going to have the bigger moments. In that case, I am going to rock with Figueiredo. Part of me thinks that I don't even know if I can say Corey's more skilled. I think they're both very, very skilled. It's just, I don't know, man. I don't know. It's so tough. It's a very tough fight to predict. I wonder if Figueiredo's going to grapple with him too. That's always a possibility. We saw he tried to do that with Jan, and he was, I wouldn't say successful, but in that first round, he had a moment where I thought he was actually going to sub Jan. Like, that would have been crazy, but I mean, Sandhagen's grappling has gotten so much better, though, over the past few years as well, so maybe it would negate in that situation. I don't know. But I don't see a finish from either guy. That would be kind of crazy. That would be a statement, considering bantamweight's lacking contenders outside of Jan, who for some reason they want to skip over. So we'll see what happens. But I think decisions to play here. I think you got to go over. Over's I would imagine over's at 3.5 to 4.5 right now, if I'm not mistaken. I feel like that's something like that. I'm gonna guess I'm gonna guess split decision on this one. I think we're getting the split. Figueiredo wins. 48-47's across the board, though. You got a 48-47 Sandhagen. Figueiredo gets 2, and Figueiredo wins. I don't even know what they would do next then in that case. I guess it depends on if O'Malley wins or if Merab wins, but I wonder who they're going to have Jan fight next. You know, that's tough. Absolutely tough. See for Petr Yan. Hopefully Merab just keeps winning, though. I want to see him stack up a legitimate bantamweight resume. Nothing against Aljo, but you know, had a lot of things that were not really favoring him, like taking the knee. Another very close decision with Petr Yan when he didn't have his corner. TJ Dillashaw with one arm, but I meant, yeah, Aljo's still an all-time great at bantamweight, but I'm just saying I want to see Merab cement his case as bantamweight GOAT, even though I don't think adding O'Malley immediately for a second time does too much, but we'll see what happens. I don't know. Yeah, weird card. I hope it delivers. I feel like I'm going to be eating my words a lot this week, but we'll see what happens. Other than that, though, YouTube, it's been real. We will see you.